So what is the one thing we need to teach our children? If I were to give one answer, it would be clearly meditation. They need this now more than ever. And I know we can provide our kids with a lot of information. We can provide them with a lot of things. But to all the parents who are listening, for me, I would say this is the one skill, this is the one tool that would be the most beneficial for them. Why is that the case? And really then, let's look at the statistics. 1 in 7 adolescents is estimated to have a mental health condition. In 21 countries, roughly 1 in 5 young people aged 15 to 24 said they often feel depressed or have little interest in doing things. Suicide is the 4th leading cause of death among 15 to 19-year-olds. Every year, almost 46,000 children between the ages of 10 and 19 end their own lives, about 1 every 11 minutes. Anxiety and depression accounts for 40% of adolescent mental health conditions. So these are the recent numbers that were just released by UNICEF. And from my clinical experience, just working with so many children, what I find that people struggle with and what they're lacking is really the tools and the coping skills. They don't have the distress tolerance. When things are happening to them outside, and as challenging as the world can be, especially in this environment now with COVID, with social media, with the economy, everything that is going on now, the kids struggle because they don't know how to come back to their home base. And the skill that they need more now than ever is the skill to regulate their mood, to regulate their thinking, to regulate what's happening on the inside, and they need to ground themselves. They need the safe space. And what it comes with, also paired with all of those tools, is also with mindfulness. These are some of the things that the kids just have not developed. And from my experience is that without these skills or without these tools, their chances of struggling or developing a mental disorder increases dramatically. So what happens when our children are experiencing challenges and difficulties from the environment? Well, 2 things. 1, if they were able to develop a safe space, if they know how to self-regulate, they can go inside and take time to calm down. They can use their tools and bring their stress level down, and then they know how to manage themselves. And without this then is the second option. And the second option, when kids are faced with fear and challenges, is then they will find safety outside. They will find comfort, and we've seen it in food, in friends, in relationships, in substances, in video games. But again, these are tools that the kids are then reaching for. So again, in fight or flight, or when it comes to the issue of safety, human basic need, they're going to cling and they're going to grasp and they're going to go towards something. And they're going to either go towards something on the outside or something on the inside. And what we find is when children can go inside and have something that is more real and more sustainable, that this is more effective and they can self-soothe themselves. The next question we need to ask is, how did we get to this point? And the answer is simple, and it's because we have not been taught. The children have not been taught. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? It's neither. That's just how it is. Because from the different generations, if we were not taught it ourselves, well, how then do we pass it on to our children? And from my personal experience, now even as a Buddhist monk, growing up in a Buddhist family, we were not taught the skill of meditation. That was just something that we did not grow up with, so we did not have access to that. But now that this information is readily available, we see the importance of it. And with this information, now I think it's important that we do our part, and now we can put it into our daily routine and then teach our children this. And let's move forward. So now that we understand that we want to teach our children meditation, what is the next step? And the next step is then to, one, hopefully as the parents, you can use meditation yourself. So again, this is not to judge your lifestyle. If you meditate currently or if you do not, that's okay, not a problem. But if you now can integrate that and practice it for yourself and be a practitioner, when teaching your children these tools will be more effective. And then that way you can just model it to them. And when kids see the parents doing the action, it has a deeper meaning than just with verbal. The second step that we want to start is then educate your kids. Why is meditation important? How can it help them? And then how do we utilize it in this time currently? Because we need to give, especially young children, some context. And with that, kids can be very receptive, but they just need an overview. So the second one is to educate them. Step number 3 is, if you can, now make it part of your daily habit. The quality of your meditation in the beginning, don't worry about it. Kids will struggle. It's okay. You will struggle. It's okay. That's not a problem. But if you can, then find a way to make it part of your schedule. Make it part of your routine. This can be a morning routine when you wake up. And depending on the ages of your children, the time will vary. So with very young children, just 5 minutes in the morning after you brush your teeth, or before breakfast or after breakfast, or before they go to school, make it part of your morning routine. You can even do it, for some people, they would do it at dinner time and just reflect on the food. Take a few minutes to have a quiet time. You can even say that, or have a meditation time. In the evening, when you have, instead of watching TV, then again, take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, do it as a family. Or even at the end of the day, you can do this to wrap up your evening routine before you go to bed. Take time as a family, do your best, and if you can, meditate together, or even teaching your children, they can meditate by themselves. Just 5 minutes, 10 minutes before you go to bed. And then step number 4, or the last tip, is then now make it bigger. Now if you can, now that it's integrated into your family routine, your family schedule, it's becoming more normal now, then if you can, join a community. There are retreats that you can join, even for children and family. We have access to technology, so you can hop on a Zoom. You can join your local church or monastery, meet with a monk if you have access to. They have meditation practitioners out there. So come together and make it a habit. And for my family, really was, before I became a monk, is we drove from San Diego all the way to Azusa, which was about a 2-3 hour drive. And once a month, we made a habit where we went to meditate with the monks. We went to offer food and to donate, to do an act of generosity, and it became part of our pattern. So when you can combine all these 4 things together, this will start to become normal for your children, and it won't even be an issue. With this said, some people out there will still have objectives, and that's okay. But common ones that we hear is that I don't know meditation, I don't know how to teach my children. Well, it's okay. And just like any other skill, well, you don't play football, so you don't know how to teach your children football. You don't know how to type, so you don't know how to teach your children this skill. Anything is okay, but the point is it's still a skill, and there's still people who know how to teach. So get access to a teacher, get access to meditation apps. You have videos on YouTube, on Facebook, on Zoom for children or for families that are so easy and simple. So utilize this. Another obstacle that people will say is that I don't have time. And I mentioned this in one of the other videos, is this just doesn't fly, especially when it comes to children. Because when I was working with, again in the clinical setting before monkhood as a therapist, when I was working with Fortune 500 companies, the parents or the owners of those companies, they're busy, and everyone's busy, and I get it. You have important jobs, you have important duties, but when your child is suffering, they don't have the skill, they could not regulate themselves, and now they turn to unhealthy things such as substances. They can't cope with their mental health. They're experiencing deep depression. They can't get out of bed. Well, you know what? I get you're busy, but you're gonna have to make time. And the parents that we get to work with time and time again, even in the retreat setting, the parents will have to leave their job. They will have to take time off. You will have to make sacrifice because we're to the end of the line. So this excuse of we don't have time, it's okay, but you will make time. So either one, it's just want to do it now or we're gonna do it later. Obstacle number 3 is that the kids just can't sit still. They're too unfocused. Yeah, sure, of course in the beginning. Take your own self is to sit in meditation after your day of working, after your day of using social media and interacting with different people and peers. Of course it's difficult, but it's possible. And it's possible because it's a skill, and with every skill we can develop it and train it. One of the things we talk about with meditation is like showering for the mind. So the way the physical body gets dirty, and then you taught your children how to shower every day. They can not go to school, they can sleep on the couch all day, and you will still make them shower because you understand that they need to clean the physical body. It gets dirty. The same thing with the mind, and the mind gets dirty. It collects dust, it collects debris, and we need to clean it. So imagine from a young age, you teach your children to shower. Good day, you shower. Stressful day, you shower. Challenging day, you shower for the physical body. Now for the mind, same thing, because it gets dirty. All the thoughts, all the obstacles, all the challenges that are coming through your sensory system, it gets trapped in the mind. So we need to clean that as well. So again, it's just a skill, and with all skill, we can develop it. What you are watching now is a video of our novices at Wat Ban Khun. These are the young boys who are training themselves. And is meditation difficult? Sure, in the beginning. However, with some time, these children have been able to sit for several hours each day. They start the day with meditation, they end the day with meditation, and this helps them to self-regulate. So is meditation possible for children? The answer is yes. So to conclude, all the parents out there who are watching this, I understand how much you love your children. I understand that's why you work, because you want to provide for them. You want a better future for them. And that's noble and that's wonderful. And we provide our children with things, for Christmas, a lot of material things. We try to give them the best education. We want them to be financially successful. We want them to have positive relationships and have a family, have grandchildren, and be happy. And again, that's all wonderful. And the kids will be successful if you keep up with it enough. However, if they don't have the foundation of self-regulation and they crumble when things get too rough, or when they're successful but yet they can't get out of bed because they're experiencing deep depression, what is it for? And have we really prepared them properly? So for me, is the best thing coming to answer the first question of this video is the one skill or the one thing that is most important that you can teach your children is the skill of meditation. Yes, it takes time. Yes, it might feel slow, that it's taking time from them doing other things. But what I find is that this is the base. And with a base of meditation, it will give your children a safe space that they can turn to at all times. When life hits, they lose their job, a pandemic hits, their relationship falls apart, and things are arising and things are changing, they can go and they can access this inner space. And with this inner space, it comes with a confidence, and everything will be okay. They just take a breath and they just know it's difficult and I will be fine. And as a parent, what more can you ask? Your children are safe, they can manage themselves, and they're happy. So again, I hope this is helpful and teach your children meditation. So again, as always, all the way from Thailand, I hope this is helpful, and thank you for taking the time to watch, and sending you all my blessings. Stay safe, everyone. Satu.